Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. So last week I did a get ready with me and I kind of talked through some of the things that we were gonna do this year to the house, like our goals for like everything that we were gonna do interior and exterior wise. It has been maybe a week and a half since I filmed that video, a little less than, something like that. And I can tell you it's already changed. So for example, I had said in that last video that I was gonna get a Hartley Botanic greenhouse. I am no longer going to get one. I have had extensive conversations with them and it's just, I will talk about that in a later video that it's more dedicated to like outside stuff, especially garden stuff. This video, I wanted to give you a walkthrough of a room that I am confident we're gonna finish this year. It's the lounge. It's a room that's kind of hard to explain because it's a room that you see when you walk into the house. It's dead center. It's what you immediately look at. And we're gonna take it in a totally different direction. So I wanted to give you like a thorough walkthrough of both the lounge and the hallway that I spoke about as well. Just kind of give you like, you know, here's what I meant. So if you're interested in seeing like the space itself and what we're gonna do to it, just stick around. So when you walk into our home, like this is basically what you see. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's why the light's just kind of a mess. But this is essentially like the great room with these huge beams, right? And so this chandelier here would stand underneath it so you can just kind of get an idea of just how big this thing is. This thing has got to be, I don't know, 6, 8 feet. I mean, it's huge. I might be a little off on that, but I don't think by much. It's huge. So, but you can also see literally how competitive it is with these beams. It does not go. So we are going to get rid of this and we're going to get a new chandelier that complements the space better. And we're also going to kind of hang, I can show you, this is what I meant when I said the music area. So this kind of little inset room, we're gonna hang that as well. This is like easy stuff to do though, right? So if you're standing kind of dead center in the room, this is what you see immediately to your right. And then this is the back of the room, do gut neutered. That's what you see back there. The left wall. And then these are the arches. Through that is the bar. That's our front door. That's the office, for Jeremy's office right now, but it will be the study. And then this is kind of the hallway that leads to our bedroom, and then these arches. But you've got, it's really important that you understand, it's kind of hard to capture on camera, but you're just kind of surrounded by these beams. You know what I mean? It's, yeah, like it's a thing. So for me, it's really important that the beams kind of are the like sort of pièce de résistance of the house. I really love the architecture of this home. I really wanted this style of home and we're really, really, really happy with that. So everything that we're doing to complement it or to contrast it in a really complementary way. So I'm gonna talk you through a little bit about specific parts of the room. I don't know, I don't have the blueprints of the house, so I don't know the actual footprint of anything. And the floor isn't like a square or a rectangle. It's got a bunch of different angles in it, so I don't know what the actual dimensions are. But what I will tell you is this. We have a laser level on a tripod, if you wanna know what that is. So on this wall, I need you to see something. For scale, I'm right here, right? This is going to be the music wall. So we're going to have sound system, flanking, and then kind of coming inward like this. And then right here is going to be that Johnny Bird painting. I hope to God the sound of this is okay. And then this is what I wanted to make the kind of listening lounge. So putting like a rug here, Beth called me out on not saying chaise lounge with a French accent, a chaise lounge here. And then this way, when you're looking at it, you're basically gonna see Johnny Bird and then, you know what, I'll go show you Johnny Bird. And then you'll have a sound system this whole wall. And that way when you're standing about this point, you still have kind of these key, I'm kind of using these beams. This is really hard to capture. Now that I'm like, you have to have a professional photographer to really appropriately capture this, or properly capture rather. But yeah, so forgive the, if this kind of scale feels weird, my apologies. But basically directly in front is going to be that, if you remember me saying I want that really flamboyant Freddy painting done, I want it like right there. And then this will be seating and a really cool rug or two. The other thing that's really important to me is that this is the room that has the Christmas tree in it. And it's really important to me that whatever we do can be kind of configured for the tree. Meaning I don't have to like put furniture in different rooms. I can kind of tuck, you know what I mean? Or we can sit on them to open presents and do whatever. It's also really important to me that this room functions for family. So while these kind of key 3 center rooms are not kid friendly, our kids are also not that young. I don't necessarily want something that's like so careful and like delicate that I'm nervous about people using it. My furniture is meant to be used, you know what I mean? So I want to kind of find that junction of the aesthetic that I want, the kind of rock and roll, you know, cool vibe with, sorry if the light's changing. We basically have like gotten ice and snow for 2 days, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so I want like a cool, I want furniture that complements, look at this light, it's like wild. I want furniture that complements this room, but is also meant to be used. You know what I mean? I am not somebody who like wants furniture that's art, that's not meant to be sat on. Please sit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we have furniture in here. Please sit. The other thing that is really important that I want to mention is this room gets so much light that everything I'm putting in it needs to hold up to that. So this room basically, our back patio area kind of like wraps the whole essentially core width of the house. So we have 3 doors that walk outside. One's in the kitchen, one's in this room, and one's in our bedroom. So there is a thoroughfare that kind of has to be maintained. Admittedly, this room is the least used access point to the outside, but it's still something that I want to be mindful of. So I don't like shoes in the house in general, but I don't necessarily want anything that's so precious that like would make my heart stop over it. And that's really important. That's also why I'm bringing professionals on this, because I have no idea what fabrics and materials and textures and, you know, whatever, what those things are actually meant to be used for and how they hold up over time to, you know, a pretty active family. And once it's safe enough to, like, we live in Texas, so like it might take some time, but once it's safe enough to have like get-togethers again, this room will be used. You know, I want people to be able to bring in a cocktail and listen to music and have conversations and just be and chill and have a good time. So I need things that really complement that space really well. And I also think that the bones of this room are so great. I don't want to screw that up. You know, I don't need anything to be taking the spotlight away from, which should automatically get attention, if that makes sense. So high level, that is this room, and I am super excited. Literally tomorrow, I've got my rug dealer and my interior designer coming over she's bringing a bunch of rugs. We're gonna test them out, we're gonna see what works. I need rugs for kind of the key rooms, and then I need runners for the hallway. We have a big home, and so it's one of those things where it's kind of easier and less expensive to get rugs that cover tile, because this tile, I don't hate it, but I definitely wouldn't have picked it. And it's just one of those things. It'll look better in general, but it also covers stuff that's kind of annoying sometimes. So let me show you what's up.
Ooh, hello.
Hi. So let me show you the hallway. Okay, so this is the hallway. Hang on, let me back up a little bit so you can get the other light. There you go. This is the hallway that leads, you can tell right here is the lounge, right here is the entryway. This hallway heads to our bedroom. If I turn on all the lights, it looks like that. So you can see how the floor kind of makes it look a little bit more on the yellow side, if that makes sense. Like it's not a dead on, it's more like a daffodil yellow, but it's a little yellow nonetheless. I don't actually hate that. I love the tones from the light bulbs. We picked that ourselves. We've changed all the light bulbs, but I would like some contrast on the floor. So I really want a good runner in here. I also love the idea of like layered rugs. I think that'd be really great. You can also see, even from like straight on, you can see the arch light on the wall. So from a different angle, you have that. And then in the hallway itself, you have that. So to note, if you saw the video last week where I talked about the 5 mugshots that are gonna go on this wall, Maddie, who's the artist that we've hired to do it, she's phenomenal. I will no doubt show you once they're done. She just sent us like index card mock-ups last night to approve. So we're gonna have 5, I think it's 18 by 24, don't quote me. I can ask her, she could definitely quote me. But they're all gonna be the exact same size, and they're all mugshots custom to us. It's really important to me in general, and especially in this house, because it's a forever house, it's really important to me that we don't have like prints or cheap art. I want original, I want custom if possible, but I don't want art you can just get from like Home Goods or Target or some website or whatever, right? I want art that matters to us, I want art that's meaningful, and I want it ideally original. So far, we've been doing real great. We've even gone custom, which makes me just elated. But it was incredibly important to us that we had art that spoke to us, that set the vibe of the home, and also just, you know, this house can handle a lot of personality. We both have a lot of personality, and music is super important to us. It's a huge language for us, and it's setting the mood, it's setting the tone of the day. The list goes on. The point of that is, it made a ton of sense for us to pick art that was music influenced, especially considering the proximity to the lounge and, you know, the kind of the listening space. Tons of sense. And then the bar is literally behind this wall. So yeah, like yeah. It would make a ton of sense when you stood in this space, everything spoke to each other. And I'm really excited that Maddie agreed to do this for us because she's gonna crush it. I just know she is. But if you didn't see the video, the 5 mugshots that we have, or the 5 people that we've selected for mugshots are Iggy Pop, Janis Joplin, David Bowie, Grace Slick, and Willie Nelson. And they're gonna be completely custom in terms of the like mugshot itself. But the fact that they've all had a mugshot taken is actually a real thing, which is kind of awesome. So I'm really excited about that. But I just wanted to give you an idea from like a bare space perspective before we started doing anything, because we're literally starting like imminently. And the kind of timeline to document this as bare as possible is like hours. But I also just thought it'd be kind of a cool way to see what we're starting from. And especially, like I said this before, so much of this house, we didn't build this home, but so much of the decisions made, while I necessarily wouldn't have made those, I'm not mad at them. And I'm not gonna get rid of a bunch of this stuff, right? I actually kind of like it. Again, wouldn't have picked it, but I'm not mad at it. So the personality that we can add is, I think it's a little bit more impactful for us because we're not changing a ton of stuff. You know what I mean? We just want to put our spin on it. And I think this house is just so perfect for our aesthetic in general. And I'm really excited. So this hallway, I believe, will be done in the next couple of months, to be honest with you, because all it needs is the 5 paintings. Excuse me, there are 5 drawings, and then a rug. So I need a runner, which might even happen tomorrow, and then then the 5 pieces of art will go there. The flowers that you see at the end of the hall, I rotate out seasonally. Those are actually supposed to get phased out, but the replacements aren't here yet. And then to recap, in the lounge, this is going to be the listening space. So you're gonna have literally this whole wall that whole, like that entire wall. So the width of the room is going to be a sound system with the 5-foot Johnny Bird in the middle. And then I want like a cool kind of fainting sofa, chaise lounge, Beth, and like a cool rug. So whether it's like a faux hide or something I've already got, I don't really care. I just want something with a lot of personality and character. And then the sound system itself is gonna be it's just gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to show y'all. It should have already been here, but because of all the delays and everything, I don't think it's coming for another month or so. And then in this side of the room, which you can kind of, like, it kind of splits at that beam. So that's kind of the vibe I want, right? I want it to feel like that's a bit more, leave me alone, I'm listening to music. And this is more, come hang out. So this, where Adelaide is, staring at her brother, we're gonna have, I want a sick, like Persian. Apparently I like a Heriz, I don't know how to say this. H-E-R-I-Z, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's a type of Persian. I think I don't know. I'll have Layla pronounce it for me. I don't want to slaughter it. I'm sensitive to that. But that seems to be the style of rug that I really gravitate to. So I love the idea of having that in this room because I just think this room could easily handle it. And then this chandelier has got to go. So it just looks so stupid. I'm really sorry if you love it. I just cannot stand it. And so I love the idea of maybe putting some like blue velvet chairs and maybe a cool like love seat, or just something with like a lot of personality and character that's definitely like a, you know, kind of like a rock and roll kind of vibe. And then on this wall, eventually I will have a large painting of Freddie Mercury. That's what I'm thinking. I kind of kick around doing a bit of a gallery wall on this wall. I just don't know how to do that with original art. I think it'd be kind of cool if we did with like the music one sheets or like, you know, the concert bills or whatever. I just really don't love the idea of having just some like random thing from the internet in such a prominent place in the house. I'd like to keep this original. So TBD on that idea. And then I also had mentioned having those little like love notes kind of tucked around the house. The like beams like this, where it's not that big, I love the idea of having like a really small, like gold, really ornate frame, and then have some calligraphy with some like cool quote in it, you know? Because I've got all these little beams and I've got all these little like kind of nooks. You see what I'm saying? Like I just think it gives like these little spaces so much kind of character and just makes this room really like special and intentional and like y'all really like love this, like you went for it. And I just think if you're gonna do it well, you know? So I'm really excited. I'm very excited. I'm really excited we're actually making headway. That's like my #1 pet peeve in life is treading water. I like to make progress. And so it thrills me that we're making progress. So yeah, so hopefully the beams will get measured really soon. We can make some decisions on swapping out the lighting. Thankfully we have a home for that, so that's great. And with any luck, we'll have furniture coming, or like we'll start picking, measuring, all that kind of stuff. But I'll document the whole journey because I've had a lot of y'all hit me up on Instagram about this. And I don't know if it's because I'm just not a modern white, you know, I think it looks a little clinical. I apologize if you take offense to that. I just don't like that look. It's too, that contemporary white box, not my jam. So I've had a lot of people ask me about like, what are we doing and specific stuff. So I just figured it'd be a great, you know, be a great use of YouTube, right? I'll just document the journey for you. And then again, I really have no interest in iterating. I want to keep it as minimal as possible. So I'd rather get it right the first time and take my time to do that. So it might be a little slow going, but that's so I don't have to do it 3 times over, because that is what pisses me off. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.